Hey guys and girls, my name is Alan and welcome to today's gameplay commentary. As you can see, I've got another Fortnite Battle Royale match which you enjoy. Well, technically it's a couple of clips and then it leads into a full match of Sniper Shootout version 3, the LTM for last week. Now, as of the time of this video going up, I do believe it's been rotated out of the playlist, which is a bit of a shame because I did enjoy it. They sort of mixed it up this time around a little bit, so they had solos, they had duos, but they had no squads, which is what they had in versions 1 and 2. And I talked about a few of the changes in last week's video, so check that one out if you do want to find out what's the difference between 1 and 2. And then today I'm going to be talking about the difference between 1 and 2 and 3. Now, the major difference is they've added the inclusion of the scoped ARs and the new thermal scope AR, and I do show some gameplay of that soon, so that's the reason why I put those clips in at the start, because I want you to see that in action firsthand, and I want to try and keep it as relevant as possible. And I know it's been a few days since it's come out, probably longer than that, but obviously I could keep it on my hard drive until God knows when, or I could do what I've done and put it at the start of today's video just to give you an idea of what it looks like if you haven't seen it yet, and how it operates and things like that. And then the next thing that's also new as well, which you might have noticed straight away just by looking at the screen, is I've landed at the new point of interest, which has been updated with last week's update to the map, and it's a football stadium to coincide, I guess, with the World Cup, but also just to mix things up a little bit because people didn't really come to this part of the map often, at least not that I saw. As a group, as a squad, we never really came here either, to be honest with you. And basically they've taken out Broken Hogwarts and they put in Football Stadium, and it's an okay venue. It's very open, very spacious. I mean, it's a football stadium, so as you can imagine. Unfortunately, I don't really show you the inside in this particular piece of gameplay, but in future videos, me and my friends have landed there a couple of times, and you'll see some action, some gunfights and stuff. And basically, well, you know, it's a football stadium, so there's a big pitch in the middle, there's stands, there's some concession stands, and then underneath there's a few rooms, like changing rooms, that sort of thing. It's okay, it's not an amazing place to land. It's very spread out, as I said, loot-wise, things like that. It's very big, very open. And because it's on the edge of the map, it's not a great place to be in general, because the chances are the storm is not going to finish there. So you're going to have to end up running a lot of the times, just like you would with any other sort of the edge of the map location. Right, so version 3 of Sniper Shootout actually was sort of modified slightly a few days into it because people were complaining that a lot of players were using the scope rifles to get kills rather than actually sniper rifles, which, to be fair, was happening quite a bit and was a little bit annoying. So I'm glad they changed it. So they eventually, a couple of days later, they did take out the scoped AR entirely, and then they reduced the drop rate of the thermal scope. But there was still quite a lot of those floating around, and people were using them. And even though the thermal scope isn't that good, in my opinion, in terms of, obviously, if you're fighting against someone with a sniper, chances are you should really win. But if you're fighting against someone with an AR or a shotgun, SMG, or any of the other weapons, you should technically lose. As you've already seen on screen from me using it, when you zoom in, it's got scope, obviously, and it picks up heat signatures, and they're still adjusting it, but it picks up things like chests, which I don't really understand because I didn't realize chests were hot. It's really good for just checking out enemies at a distance. If you think you saw something, you can just scope in, and immediately if there's an enemy there, you know straight away. And then, as you'll see a little bit later on, it does peek through bushes as well. So enemies hiding in bushes, very easy to spot, and if they're wearing bushes as well, very easy to spot. So that's kind of cool. And then they more recently, with this week's update, they've made it so that you can actually spot campfires. But to be fair, if there's a campfire, it's fairly obvious, right? It's lit, there's people sitting around it healing, but even if it's not lit, then there's not really a reason to pick it up. The other thing which is a little bit frustrating, and they didn't really adjust, is the fact that there are explosives in this game mode. So sticky nades, C4s, grenades. Now, C4s, I mean, it's not really great for killing people, but for damaging structures, and with sniper mode, you kind of want to get the height advantage, as you would in any other engagement, but because obviously shots do so much more damage, you kind of want to defend yourself, and if C4's floating around, then it's very hard to do so. Not many players, to be fair, were using them effectively, but still a bit of a concern. Grenade spam is crazy, sticky nade spam is also crazy, and while I didn't die to as many of those compared to thermal scope and normal scope AR, you know, it was enough time for me to notice it, and it was a little bit annoying. And I hope with version 4, whenever it comes to be released, the drop rate of explosives, you know, hopefully is toned down a little bit, or better still, removed entirely altogether. I don't understand why they keep calling it sniper mode and putting in these weapons. Now, believe it or not, the thermal scope AR is actually fully automatic. It's just a very slow rate of fire. You can pull the trigger and hold it down, and it'll just fire consistently. It's only got a 15 clip mag, which is not that great. Damage is sort of okay. Headshot damage is pretty decent. But yeah, in terms of using it as an assault weapon in general play, I don't really know how well it stacks up. I don't think it's particularly good. You're better off probably using a semi-automatic sniper. As I said, it's more novel to use for spotting enemies from a distance and to check bushes quickly towards the end game, that sort of thing. But in terms of general use, I don't think it ranks much higher, if at all, compared to some of the other scoped weapons available in the game. Anyway, as I was trying to get to, the point I'm trying to make is I don't understand why this game mode is called Sniper Shootout and then there are weapons other than snipers in the game. Now, the hunting rifle, fine. Semi-automatic sniper, fine. Bolt sniper, fine. Anything else I don't think should be put into the game mode. I think C4 maybe is okay to bring down structures, but grenades and stickies I don't think should be available. Traps I kind of don't mind. I mean, I'm pretty vigilant when I enter buildings and stuff. Not always, but most of the time I'm pretty vigilant, and it does help keep me alive. And I've avoided traps, and I've seen people avoid traps as well because they're just looking before they're walking into doorways and rooms and that sort of thing. If someone boxes you in, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate, it's a bit embarrassing, but it does happen. However, they've worked to get that kill with the trap, whereas, you know, if you put it down and somebody walks into it, I suppose it's a free kill if they're not paying attention. However, if someone's worked for it to box you in, I guess I can sort of let that happen. While I personally haven't seen that many traps fall, you know, like in loot for me, I have seen people like put down like dozens of traps towards the end, and I guess that means other people haven't been using them, so the person who's killed them has collected them and saved them for the end game, which is fine, but it does mean that obviously it's a little bit unfair if someone's got like 10 traps and you've got 0, and then the circle becomes really small and they can just chuck down traps everywhere. It limits the surface area that you can use to avoid them, and if you've got no build then it's basically game over. However, as I said, I can understand that traps do require a bit more effort compared to explosives, which you can just throw, spam, and not really use that much effort. I mean, if someone's in a room, you just chuck about 5 grenades in there, it's going to be hard for them to survive. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see when version 4 rolls out in the future. Obviously, version 3 is only just finished, so who knows when it'll be. With these small changes, people are enjoying the game mode a bit more, I feel. My friend in particular, Rudy, you've seen him before on the channel. We played a bunch of duo matches yesterday just for fun, landing at Tilda. We had such a laugh, and I hit some crazy shots. Now, I'm not much of a sniper, but I hit some decent shots yesterday, and I look forward to sharing that gameplay with you in the future. Hopefully not too distant future, but I was hitting some very tasty shots. And if he's enjoying the game mode, then you can imagine the average person is probably also enjoying the game mode a bit more. But there are still some refinements to be made to the game, in my opinion. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. So at the weekend, I did release my first video of my thoughts and opinions on E3 this year. Believe it or not, I'm still watching the footage because there are so many different things going on right now that I just don't have enough time. I mean, between work and watching the World Cup and you know, trying to play the new updates, trying to get gameplay and streaming, I'm busy, and I know that I'm a little bit disorganized. I could probably do more if I planned things a bit better. And don't go on ridiculous gaming sessions, but I just can't help it. Like, this is the thing that I don't understand about Fortnite. I've played it so much, and yet I keep coming back to it. And as I was saying as me and my friend were talking about, like we badmouth this game quite a lot because there are so many things that don't make sense. They haven't fixed. You know, there are bugs, there are issues. Some weapons are OP, some weapons need to be buffed. Things like accuracy needs to be sorted out. Things like swapping shoulders, fundamentals to a third-person shooter. You should be able to swap shoulders. I don't understand why that hasn't been put in yet. And there's just so many things about this game that, you know, annoy us, frustrate us, and make us rage, but we still come back to it and we have fun on it. And they're constantly releasing updates. And while I don't care about the skins and stuff, some people really do enjoy, you know, buying new skins and stuff. So it's something for them to enjoy as well. It's very unique. Like, I don't think I've come across a game like Fortnite before in terms of the way it's drawn me in and, you know, made me spend so many hours playing the game. Having said that, at the weekend, I didn't play a single game of Fortnite. I didn't play on the PS4 at all. I was just busy at the weekend between work, and obviously the football's on, and we had some family stuff. Nothing major, just some family stuff going on. So I was kind of busy. So I didn't have time to play at all. So I mean, I can live without playing the game, but when I do jump on, it is the first thing I'm considering to play. And obviously, my friends are online, then that's a no-brainer. We squad up, we team up, whatever, and then we enjoy some matches. Hopefully, bring home some dubs. And of course, I usually stream whenever I play these days. So if you ever want to check me out sometime, as I've said in the past, I'm trying to just stream whenever I jump online, and it gives me an opportunity to share fresh gameplay with you straight away. Like if there's an update or a new item or equipment, weapon, whatever, I can hopefully share it with you straight away, and you get to see it firsthand rather than waiting, you know, a few days or weeks for me to get my act together and actually post it to my channel. Now, the following display of building is not great. I'm definitely not a builder. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That's the one aspect, well actually, that's one of several aspects in this game that I really need to work on. I just don't enjoy it though. Like some people really love getting into build fights. I just don't see the point. Like, if someone's already like 20 meters in the sky, my first thought is to bring the tower down. I don't really see the point of me trying to build up to you. You've already got the high ground, so I might as well bring you back down to earth. And if I can get a kill doing it that way, even better. But it's definitely an area that I need to work on. But I don't think I'm gonna put too much effort into working on because I don't really like building anyway, as I said. Primarily, I need to work on my shooting, rather than my building, because that, well, again, some of it comes down to the bloom and the random nature of it, but it's just different things that bug me about this game, but I still come back to it and I don't know why. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so E3. So I was hoping to get another video out for E3 earlier this week. Never quite got around to it because I said I was busy at the weekend. This Saturday, for sure, I'll be doing another one. I'm hoping I might get a video out for Friday as well, but we'll have to wait and see what it's going to be about. I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did in that Saturday video last week and just review the stuff that I saw, just talk about the stuff that I'm interested in, you know, seeing more of in the future, and just anything that caught my attention in particular, and just give it a generic review of the conferences, because you might not have watched all of them, or maybe you did. Maybe we can just talk about it and just share thoughts and opinions together. Okay, so the video is sort of drawing to a close. I don't really want to get into a big topic now because obviously there's not much time left to go. So I'm going to run off a few minor small topics which I don't think need to be covered in great detail, but just are worth mentioning anyway in general. So one of the things that I did see at E3 was Fortnite are trialing or implementing a basic sort of spectator / observer mode, and because obviously Fortnite are pushing for, you know, esports tournaments and that sort of thing, and then obviously they announced the World Cup, and I did do a small little bit about that in I think last week's video. There is a need for there to be like a proper spectator mode, so you can shoutcast a match and you can swap between players and you should be able to see their loadouts and things like that. And while none of that was in play yet, I think that's the direction they're heading in, and obviously showcasing that early initial stage at E3 shows sort of their intention for the future. With the start of the World Cup, they have added a bunch of new skins to the store, and I know some of you people really love skins, so you must be having a whale of a time right now. And the fact that you can customize it to your home nation, so you can have like the England kit on, well, not the official one, but like having an England-esque kit on, is kind of cool, kind of novel. Bit expensive, but you know my thoughts on skins. It's up to you if you want to spend your money on it, it's none of my business. And then earlier today there was an update for Fortnite, and I haven't actually played any Fortnite today at all yet, so I haven't tried it out for myself, but there is a new grenade in play called the Stink Bomb, and it is designed to flush enemies out of structures. Haven't used it yet, so I don't know how effective or how bad it is, but it does, I think, 5 damage per half second, so 10 every second. So if you just stand there for a full 10 seconds you would eventually die. But as I said, I don't know yet how useful it is, or if it even works in certain situations. So does it penetrate walls? What's the radius of it? Does it go through floors and ceilings? So we'll have to wait and see. As soon as this video is done, I'm going to have some dinner, and then I will jump on and play a few matches, hopefully with some friends. And as I said, I'll be streaming that live. Obviously by the time this video goes up, that'll be too late for you to know about it. But as I said, I do stream quite regularly, and whenever I play I do stream. So if you want to check me out live sometime, link to my Twitch is in the description. It's also on the screen as well. You can see it all the way through, because this of course is a piece of gameplay that I captured from my live stream. I don't actually remember if I mentioned the rarity of the thermal scoped AR. I don't think I did. So it only drops in 2 variants, purple and gold, so that's epic and legendary, and that means they are pretty rare to find. But as I said, in terms of actual use, I'm not yet 100% convinced on how good they are in general gameplay. And the final thing as well, which I should have mentioned earlier when I was talking about the update for today for Fortnite, is that they've changed the reload speed of the RPGs. Now in previous video I did talk about the fact that they were nerfing the amount of ammo dropped for RPGs because they felt that the explosives were too strong towards the end game. They've gone one step further now this week, and they've actually capped the number of RPGs you can carry in your inventory to 12 at any given point. I don't know if that's 12 including the one in the chamber, or if that's just 12 total. As I said, I haven't jumped on to play today yet, so I'm not too sure. But I guess quite a few of you out there will be welcome to that change. If a squad of 4 has like 3 RPGs between them, and you come across a team that doesn't have any explosives whatsoever, it's kind of hard to win that firefight. My solution would be to make the RPGs maybe rarer, take out the blue variant, but they've decided to do it this way instead. So we'll have to wait and see if that's any good for the game. No doubt they'll make further changes if required in the future. That's the thing I love about Epic Games and Fortnite, is that they're constantly updating the game, adding new things, changing this, that and the other. And while some of the changes aren't huge and some of the changes are bad, they can take it back out again. And that's the thing that they're not afraid to do on a weekly basis. And the other thing they changed as well regarding the RPGs is that they actually updated the reload speeds for those weapons. So it now takes longer to reload a new RPG and then to get a shot off, which again should help with the RPG spam towards the end. But I haven't actually played it yet, so I don't know how much of a difference this makes. But we're only talking a second or so here and there. Right, so that will do it for today's video. My voice is getting a little bit tired now, and I'm also getting a little bit hungry, so I'm going to go eat and then jump online. Hopefully try and find some of those new stink bombs and get some decent gameplay for the channel. As per usual, if you enjoyed the content, consider tapping that like button. I really do appreciate it. And as always, if you've got any thoughts, to share me regarding anything you've seen today, anything I've talked about, do let me know in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on the sniper shootout? Did you enjoy it, or maybe you didn't? And if so, let me know why. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later.
breathe.